We're live.
Welcome to the Lost Together podcast. I'm Joe, and this is still my attempt to convince Morgan that Lost is one of the greatest television shows ever written, produced, acted in, and which occasionally named episodes very strange names.
Yeah, this one's weird.
So we are talking about season 4.
Wow, you left out the Hawaii shot in Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do it exactly the same way every time. It's not a catchphrase.
I mean, it kind of is.
I mean, it's a catchphrase in the beginning, but the conceit of it is at the end of it changes. And the great thing about a bit is explaining it to people that really like it.
That's how you really know that a joke is successful, is if you have to go, well, actually.
So this originally aired on February. I was about to say September. Because we were in September.
The court case was in September also.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. September 22nd.
No, that's when the plane crashed, honey, and that's what Jack said.
Well, he said it in court.
Anyway, we're in September, which is an even better reason to think of September and saying Feptember, right? February 21st, 2008. This is called Eggtown. I think because of John Locke making eggs in the beginning of the episode.
Also, the whole pregnancy mystery, Kate pregnant, maybe, there's a baby, what, eggs?
Yeah. We're having homemade whiskey sours while
That's not true. I have Crown and apple cider because it's September. What a yummy fall beautiful drink.
Yeah, but in Tennessee, September is basically still summer, so it's very hot.
It's very hot.
Yep, it's hot outside.
Yeah. Also,
go Big Orange.
September is, we're, heading well into football season. Go Vols, VFL.
Go Big Orange, VOL.
So.
865, baby.
Yeah. So, that's why I'm wearing this ugly thing.
Yeah, Tennessee plays Georgia tomorrow, which is a very big game if you are a college football fan, although it's only big until we kick off with Georgia, and they invariably demolish us because their defense is so well set up for our offense. It just is better than any offense they play all year. It sucks.
And just a heads up, these earrings, my kids made those for me. Love that.
This orange and white ring, my wife bought for me. I wear almost exclusively silicone rings, and
we've been married for 8 years, and you've never ever worn not a silicone ring. Exclusively, he wears silicone rings.
I thought didn't I co-opt a ring that we found one time for a little bit, like right after we got married?
No.
Yes, I did.
No,
yep.
You did not. No, you've had a silicone ring for the entirety of our marriage.
I did that. Anyway, it's the 76th episode of the series.
76?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
you know what? I feel like for a person who was so not into this show, for me to be 76 episodes in, and I'm telling y'all, at the end of this episode, I grabbed my suspenders and I said, what?
Yeah, we'll get into the twist at the end of this episode. It was killing me waiting for this twist to happen. So we're going to get right into talking about Eggtown. So what did you think about this episode?
Even though it was a Kate episode, which historically I do not like because I don't like Kate, this was a pretty good one because there was lots of non-Kate stuff happening.
Still don't like Kate.
No, I don't. I don't like her. No.
I remember early in the run of our podcast, you asked me if you would grow to like Kate at some point, and I said something like probably more than you do now.
Yeah, I mean,
but still,
obviously she's gonna do something honorable like raise a child that's not hers. But
anyway, you don't know how she ended up with him.
No, well, yeah, because there's some numerical issues here. Why did Jack say there's only... He said there was
8 of
six,
us.
8.
Which
and
is...
all I've ever heard was the Oceanic 6.
Mm-hmm.
Which, 6-8, hello. The numbers.
6 is not one of the numbers.
Isn't it 6, 8, 12?
4, 8, 15,
8.
16, 23, 42.
I don't have them memorized, guys. I don't. I probably won't ever.
DOS numbers. All right, so let's get right into the recap so we can talk about the stuff that happens in the episode.
Man, I feel like there was so much stuff, and literally we just finished this episode. We are recording this directly after finishing this episode, and there was so much. I should have taken notes.
Which is funny because we'll normally watch an episode and not record this podcast for like at least 5 days.
Yeah,
but
like a long time. And I feel less prepared right now than...
Oh, you know what? Actually, I need to start this episode off with an announcement for my very good friend Greg.
Yes.
Who ran Lost disproving the unanswered question. It's a long name, right? But y'all know who Greg is, right?
Disproving the myth.
Disproving the myth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Myth.
So,
myths.
So I've been in contact with Greg. All right. So here's the story for those of y'all that haven't seen it in the comment section on our YouTube videos. So Greg was ridiculously, unfairly persecuted by Facebook's AI. So if people were like, Joe, are you worried about AI taking your job? No, because AI, some of them are idiots, okay? And this particular one that runs Facebook is a complete idiot. No surprise, because Mark Zuckerberg is in charge of it.
Mark Zuckerberg.
More like Mark Sucketberg, right? Anyway, so Greg was essentially, his account is under appeal right now, which is why you can't see anything that he posted. And you can't see any of the posts, which is it's a travesty. Right.
It really, it's so not even fair.
So we're going to try to set up another. So we've got a Lost Together page, but it's literally under podcast, and so you can't make posts in it. So we need to just make a new page for Lost Together, and then we'll do that before the end of day tomorrow. So before like the end of Saturday night, there will be a Facebook page which you can search. And then join, and then we'll post our episodes on that Facebook page so that you can comment in the comment section.
And all 5 of you we expect to see.
I don't care.
I just want Greg and our main little group of
Matt,
folks.
Josh, Kira, Greg.
Isn't there a Chris?
Yeah, and there's a new guy in the comment section.
Yeah, we don't know his name, though.
Under YouTube. Got to use the name.
I don't know.
Don't know their name. But I do want to say that this person has written a lot.
Yes.
So,
and we did not know because we don't really look at the YouTube. But now we do, obviously. So.
Well, Greg was pushing us to try to
he was, and he was right.
And he was right. So he was trying to get us to kind of invest more in making the YouTube stuff take off, work the algorithm and all that.
Listen, we're not in this for views. We're in this for you.
Greg, hit me in the comment section if you want the password to the YouTube. You are more than welcome to
run this.
Get in there.
You can run it.
You can do.
We don't want to do it. We want to do this. What we're doing.
You think I'm being funny, Greg? We've been calling you our executive producer forever. If you want to run this YouTube,
do it.
You are more than welcome to run this YouTube.
You can go fix all the thumbnails on all the videos. Please fix it.
And none of these videos will ever be monetized. But if we make $1, you can have a third of that $1. All right, so we'll go, third with you if you want to just if you want to do the thumbnails because we're shit at doing those thumbnails.
You could put graphics. I don't care what you do, friend. I trust you.
Yeah, we trust you. And sorry that we gabble and you can't really do much like us talking over each other and being yokels and stuff. But anything to do with the actual YouTube page, please feel free. I mean it. You're more than welcome. So if you're interested in that, hit me up in my email. Also, if any of the rest of you want to send us an email instead of being in the YouTube comment section, we are losttogetherpodcast@gmail.com. It's losttogetherpodcast@gmail.com.
And we do check the email.
Yes. So I just wanted to get those kind of housekeeping notes out of the way. Sorry.
Okay, 10 minutes in. Let's go. Everybody loves a podcast where the hosts just run their freaking mouths.
It's about the talent, honestly. They've seen the show. You're the only one that hasn't seen it.
I have so many podcasts where one particular one that is so good. It's a true crime podcast. But I have to skip through. I have to hit the skip button at least 6 or 7 times because I'm like, shut up, you bitches. I don't care.
Let us know in the comment sections if you think that we're charming and endearing in any way.
Or if you skip through it, which is fine, and I totally understand because I do it too, and that's fine. Okay, Eggtown. Let me start by saying that Ben's, like, beat-ass makeup is so good.
They did a great job with it.
Oh, my God. He really... I feel like even, like, the wrinkles around his eyes, his face really looked swollen. I don't know if they, like, stung him with some bees beforehand or what, but he looked like he had his ass whooped. So, fantastic. So, we start the episode with Locke, which we already know he's in Ben's house, and he is cooking a beautiful breakfast. And he opens the fridge, and there's food in there, and my first thought was, how long has that shit been in there? Because I don't really have a concept of... they've been running Ben around the woods for who knows how long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long ago it was that they all abandoned the barracks or whatever. So, those eggs... If I have farm fresh eggs, which we hardly ever get, like, even though we sound like we sound, we don't have chickens, we don't have a farm. I don't know anybody with a farm. But every now and then I will get them. And I have to float them because I don't know how else to tell if they're good or not. I have no idea.
I think there's a smell.
Apparently because when Locke cracked them, he sniffed them. And I was like, oh, okay, so it has been a minute then. If he's freaked out about the eggs...
Well, he just doesn't know the eggs. Like, it's not like they got them from the store or something.
They
don't have an expiration date on them. They're from the chickens.
Which are where?
They're running around. They were in one of the other episodes. They're just chicken. They're just there. Chickens.
Anyway, and then he dices up. It's like Ratatouille. They're like chopping up all cool, chopping up the melon or whatever. Makes this beautiful little plate. Beautiful eggs, runny eggs. Best way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he puts it on a tray, takes it down, and then we understand that he's got Ben down there, and he takes it to Ben and he says, like, hey, hungry? And Ben says, oh, why are you even keeping me here? And Locke says, I wanted you under my roof, which is interesting because they're in Ben's house and Ben knows that. So, what a power move, Locke. Not. I thought that was weak sauce. Lame.
Yeah.
And Ben goes, what did he say? Like, oh, the tables are turned. I'm just locked up in a different space than I was before. Like, talking about when he was in the hatch, and his ass was beat up in the hatch. He was
a prisoner there, and Locke was bringing him food.
And his ass was whooped. He was all bruised up and stuff. And Ben says, you're more lost than you ever were. And I love when in TV shows, movies, whatever, when they say the title, I'm always like, oh, there it is.
Like self-reference.
Yes. And so he says, you're more lost than you've ever been. And so Locke yanks that plate up and says, you done with your breakfast? And then, like a total idiot, goes like 5 steps from the door and slams the freaking plate up against the wall. And he tells Ben, he says, I know what you're doing, and it's not going to work. You done with your breakfast? And then you can't pull that kind of power move.
Well, because then he says, good job, John. You've evolved.
You've evolved. Yeah,
right.
So good.
Yeah,
you can't, try to Billy Badass, take the plate, and then go outside and throw a temper tantrum where Ben can hear it. Ben heard that plate smash up against the wall and break and shit. Idiot.
So we'll come back and talk about this moment when you get through with the recap. But, yeah.
So, again, I thought that was so important.
It is. It is.
But anyway, and Locke grabbed a book and put it on the plate, and Ben was like, I've already read it. And then Locke said, you might catch something that you didn't see the first time around, which this is how many times have you seen Lost?
This is my second full watch through.
Okay, now, so you're catching all kinds of stuff you didn't see the first time.
Yeah, now that's going to change as we get further in, because in season 5 and 6, I saved a couple of episodes to my phone, and I was watching them at Under Armour when I worked there on my lunch break. So
you're not even mentally there.
Yeah.
So the other that's on island shit, and typically I try to keep it like on island, off island. So I guess I'll stick with that. So, Kate, we flip over to Kate, and she has decided to stay with Locke and his little troop or whatever. So, Kate and Claire and Aaron are kind of hanging out on the front porch. Sawyer comes over and he's like, "Ooh, isn't that nice, sitting on a porch drinking coffee out of a mug?" He's trying to sell her on, hey, maybe this shit is not so bad. And I actually thought it was really smooth, because Sawyer walks over and he looks at Claire and he's like, coffee sounds good. And then Claire goes, "I'll go make you a cup."
Why don't I go and make you a cup?
Why don't I go make you a cup? Come on, Iron. And she stands up and goes inside. I was like, damn, that is some really good, like, social cue communication that they had. Because I don't know that I would have picked up on, like, hey, Sawyer wants you to leave. So then he's like, "Oh, isn't that nice having coffee out of a mug on a porch?" And then Kate's like, "Get out of here, James. Go back to your house." So he goes, "Okay," and he does. And then she shows back up later, and he finds a box of Dharma wine. I guess it's like a Franzia or something. He's like, "I know it's box wine, but it's pretty good." Hands it to her, and she puts it up to her mouth like this, but doesn't drink it. But he gets some, and he drinks it, and then he goes like, "Why don't you be woman enough to tell me you're here to use me?" And she goes, "I'm here to use you. I need miles." So, what is it? Sawyer pulls the Kansas City Shuffle.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does Kansas City Shuffle. So Kansas City Shuffle is a con game where you lead the person that you're trying to manipulate to believe they have discovered your manipulation or somebody else's manipulation. And so then when they go to try to stop it, while they're over here, you're doing your actual thing over here. All right. So
what was the other example where he pulled the Kansas City Shuffle? Oh, with what's her face? Clementine's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Candace? What was her name? Was it Candace?
I don't know.
With the jewelry?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's not do this, because
Okay.
we're not going to figure it out. So I don't know if it's that. No, the guns.
He sent her with the duffel bag?
No. When he takes the guns from Locke, and remember he used Charlie. Him and Charlie got together and they got the guns.
That's it.
Kansas City Shuffle. So it's apparently one of Sawyer's favorites. A Kansas City Shuffle.
He's good at it. He's so good at it.
So the thing about a Kansas City Shuffle is
sounds like a fun dance. Number one. Sounds really fun.
It was popularized in a movie called Lucky Number 11, which is fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go
such a
watch
good
it.
movie.
Yes, very good. Lucky Number 11. It's a movie that not many people have seen. For whatever reason, I have no idea. It's very good. Morgan Freeman's in it, Josh Hartnett, Ben Kingsley, Lucy Liu, and just very, very, very good movie. But at the beginning of it, there's literally anybody that knows that movie knows that there's a line in it everybody knows, which is, "You ever heard of a Kansas City Shuffle?" And the guy that he's talking to said no, and he goes, "Well, it's not something people hear about."
It was Bruce Willis.
Yeah, Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
And he said, "A Kansas City Shuffle is when they look right and you go left."
Yeah.
And
that's like the first line.
Yeah,
it's in the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, falls on deaf ears mostly. So a Kansas City Shuffle is mostly operated by con artists who are kind of known con artists, or like salesmen use this tactic and stuff. It's actually really common in sales. So a Kansas City Shuffle in sales would look like this. It's like where you are, let's say you're selling a car and you bring the deal to to your person you're trying to sell the car to, and it has like an obviously bad amount on it. Like it's obviously bad. And so then you go like, the person's like, "This is crazy. Why are you bringing this to me?" And you're like, "Oh, it's fair. It's a fair rate." And then while they're focused on that super fair rate, you get their boss coming in behind them. You get your boss coming in behind them, like changing the rate on the next deal and doing like good cop, bad cop or whatever. So while they're trying to figure out why you're trying to con them, your boss swoops in behind you, and it's everybody's sale at a car dealership. So you're focused on this, which you think you're trying to figure out the actual trick, but the actual trick's happening over here. So Sawyer does that again because everybody knows he's a con artist, and so he uses that to go and talk to Locke, and because he's just tells the truth.
Straight up, he does tell the truth. He says, Kate. Well, he shows up and he goes like, "You want to play backgammon?" And Locke is so desperate for human connection.
And Sawyer knows that too.
Yep. And he's like, "No, I want to play backgammon."
Because one of the things that Sawyer actually is good at, that he kind of doesn't want people to know that he's good at, or maybe he won't admit that he's good at. He's got very good people sense. So good emotional intelligence. He's just damaged, right? So, but he has very good emotional intelligence, and so he knows like Locke is a lonely boy, right? So let's go and
takes one to know one.
Yeah, let's go and play backgammon with him while Kate goes and takes Miles out of hiding.
Oh yeah, I mean he flat out. He's like, oh yeah, Kate kind of pulls a sly one. She goes up straight up to Locke and she's like, "Hey, listen, I know you have Miles and I want to talk to him." And
Locke's like, "No."
He says no. And she says, "Oh, so, I guess you..." And then Locke says, "Listen, I know you think this is a democracy because of the way that Jack ran shit. This ain't no democracy." And she goes, "Oh, so it's a dictatorship?" And then Locke says, "If this was a dictatorship, I would just shoot you and go about my day."
Right, except everybody saw Locke not shoot Jack when he threatened him.
You are not no tough bitch. This is another... Get further away from the door before you throw a hissy fit and slam a plate against a wall. You are not tough.
I think...
Quit trying to act tough.
Well, let's get to the end of the recap, but I got a lot of criticisms of Locke's approach in this episode.
It is so lame. So she leaves and catches Hurley. Bless that baby. I genuinely... I get why people tell him stuff because he is open and receptive to hearing stuff, but he just... is a bad liar. And so she goes up and goes like, "Where's Miles?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, he's in the boathouse." And Kate says, "Oh well, Locke told me to take him his food." So Hurley hands her the plate and goes like, "You just Scooby-Dooed me," which is so good. I love that. You just Scooby-Dooed me. So then she goes to the boathouse and finds Miles. And is he the touch clairvoyant?
Yeah. Well, he's the... not touch, but he's a medium. So
Okay. Yeah. So she goes and he's like tied up, and she's like, she walks in and she's like, "Do you know who I am?" And he's like, "I don't know what you mean," but I noticed like his hands are tied like this, and he kind of reaches out, and of course she doesn't take his hand, but that's why I asked, is he a touch clairvoyant?
No, he's not.
Okay. Well, he reaches. She doesn't take his hand. And he's like, I don't know what you mean. She says, "Do you know what I did?" And he says, "If you can get me to the person I want to talk to, a.k.a. Ben, I'll tell you everything I know." So then that's when Sawyer does his Kansas City shuffle. He goes and tells Locke literally the truth. Hey, Kate went and found Miles in the boathouse and she's going to break him out.
Not exactly the truth because he says going to the boathouse.
Yeah, okay.
She's already been there.
Yeah. So he's like, "We should go." So they go. Meanwhile, Kate and Miles go to Ben. And Miles, love his approach, does not waste any time, walks in and goes, "Hey, you know who I am?" Ben says, "Yeah." And Miles says, "Do you know who I work for?" And Ben says, "Yep." And Miles says, "Cool. Well, then, I want $3.2 million. And then in that case, you died in the plane crash." And Ben is like, "Well, what makes you think I could do that?" And Miles goes, "Oh, you think that I don't know who you are and what you can do? Do not fuck with me." So then Ben basically is like, well, I need some time because I'm in, locked in a basement. Miles is like, fine, you have a week. So they leave, and then Kate puts him up against a wall by his jaw. And he's like, your name's Kate Austin, and you're wanted for fraud and murder and larceny and whatever. And if I were you, I would stay on this island.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's kind of that situation. And then Jack shows back up at the beach, and he's got Charlotte, and he's got Juliet, and he's got Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel.
Yeah. So they're all celebrating because, as far as they know, they're getting off the island, like post haste. Saeed and them have already left. Everything's cool and good, and Daniel's being a little bit weird. He's got like 3 cards, and he's trying to guess the cards with Charlotte, and he gets 2 of the 3 right. And she's like, that's pretty good. And he goes, 2 of 3? Which is weird, because that seems like a magic trick, and he seems like a scientist. So why is he doing magic tricks? Although magic and science are very similar.
You think he's doing a magic trick?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like yeah.
Maybe he was straining to think about the cards.
Yeah.
He was trying to remember what's on the other side of the card.
Yeah, I figured he was like counting them or something. Is he a clairvoyant?
No. What would be a reason that you might... If you just walked up on 2 people and there were 3 cards and you saw one of them going, that's a 3 of clubs, that's a queen of diamonds, that's a 4 of spades, and they were turning them over, and the other person was like, that was pretty good, right? And then the first person went, 2 out of 3 is good? Like... You don't think it's possible that maybe that person has memory problems and is trying to remember the cards that they saw?
No, I did not. No, I did not. I thought it was like a magic trick. I thought he was... Oh, shit. So he's got memory problems.
It's 3 cards.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that he knew what they were.
When you first saw Daniel, what was he doing?
He was trying to like triangulate the payload.
The first time you saw him.
I don't remember. Oh, he didn't know who he was or where he was.
He was watching the TV, saw the plane,
and he was crying.
But he said,
"Why are you sad?" And he said, "I have no idea." Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Well, that literally you saw that happen in real time. I thought it was a trick. I thought he was doing a science thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shit.
Well, shit.
All right. Well. Anyway, yeah, I mean, that's... Oh, and then Jack, he walks up and he's like, hey, listen, Saeed and them left, like, this morning. They should be there. Where are they at? Call your friend. So Charlotte takes the phone and she's like, we're only supposed to call Minkowski or whatever.
Minkowski, yeah.
Yeah. I keep wanting to say Milacek, and that's from the show Severance, which, if you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's a great show.
Very losty.
It's on Apple TV. Such a good show. Anyway, Minkowski, and she's like, well, we're not supposed to call this number unless it's an emergency. And so Juliet takes the phone and goes, it's an emergency. Love that. It's a statement and a threat. So Charlotte calls Minkowski. Regina answers the phone and says, hey, why are you calling this number? And they say, well, we're looking for Saeed and the pilot, what's his name? Frank,
yeah.
Frank and Saeed and the other one. And Regina's like, what do you mean? The helicopter is on the island with you. So, ooh, shit, where are they at? Who knows? So yeah, that's that. So off the island. My God, we're 30 minutes into this and we're only now getting to off the island.
Yeah.
Kate is in court and they're trying to get her ass for all her pre-plane crash crimes, which I think is crazy personally, but whatever.
Is it?
Yeah, because I don't know how long you'd have to be on a deserted they don't know that it's not deserted. I don't know, but a damn plane crash and then you have to live on a freaking island and all that, like, that should count as time served. That would change.
It was like 4 months.
That would change a person.
If you could go to prison or an island, which one would you pick?
An island where I have to survive by my own means in a Lord of the Flies
Hold on,
situation?
you can't have it both ways because you're saying that they don't know what's on the island. So as far as they know, it's just a tropical island.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make it like it's not the Lost Island. You can do 10 years in prison or you can do 4 months on an island.
But it's...
No,
I have to survive a plane crash, which is known.
No, we're going to assume that you survived the plane crash. Now you're trying to hedge this.
No.
All right. Yes, because you're trying to say that it's the same as prison. It isn't.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the person, whoever they were, before a plane crash on an island is not the same person after a plane crash on an island.
Of course they are.
No, they're not.
Yes.
No, that you talk about humility. People say parenthood changes you.
So just because she crashed on an island, she didn't kill somebody?
No, she did do that. Yeah.
Just because she crashed on an island, she didn't do Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, she knows she.
Just because she crashed on an island, she didn't rob a bank?
Yep, but she is not. So, she's no longer that person.
Are you out of your mind?
No.
What are you talking about?
You almost said it. No.
Said what? Fucking?
Bad stuff.
I can say fucking. It's fun. Mm-hmm. It's YouTube. So, who cares? I'm not going to get monetized anyway. I'm not going to pay for this.
Who cares?
Yeah. So, if you commit a crime, you're still a criminal. Yeah. Just because you crashed on an island doesn't mean you're not a criminal. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about?
You're too harsh. You are too harsh. Anyway.
It doesn't make sense what you're saying. I don't understand
what it does.
And you still haven't answered my question. Because you were trying to suggest that it was as good as going to prison, right, for the person. So I pose it to you that you have... No, I'm finishing and you're going to answer because you're going to have to stand on business about this.
Okay.
All right? You have murdered somebody.
Yes.
Okay? You are, but it's...
Let's say... they deserved it.
No, let's say it's manslaughter. You're due 10 years.
An accident. Okay.
You're due 10 years.
Cool.
And the judge gives you the option. 10 years in prison or 4 months just like camping on a tropical island.
Yeah, but she wasn't camping. She had to
survive.
Oh my God.
Yeah, quit with the survive. I'm setting up a hypothetical and I'm inside the boundaries here, right?
Fine. Like, am I by myself?
You get a handful of other maniacs with you.
I'm pretty sure I could survive 10 years in prison. I don't know that I could survive 4 months with a bunch of maniacs on an island.
It's a tropical island.
Who gives a fuck?
It's more survivable than like the desert.
I can't make a fire. I can't make a shelter.
Well,
I don't know how to fish and hunt.
On a tropical island, a fire is like a luxury. You don't really need it. Like
I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to like clean a carcass and cook the meat and stuff. I can't do that. I will die. I don't know what berries are safe to eat, and you don't either, and you would fucking die.
I'm taking the island 1,000 times out of 10.
You would die so fast.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
1,000 times out of 10, I'd survive for 4 months.
No, it would be like
Baby, you don't even have to. You can eat once a month and survive if you're just laying around.
No, you would try to kill yourself like in Castaway, and you
first of all, no, I wouldn't. I would absolutely not.
Well, he didn't do it anyway, and that would be you. You'd be so miserable the whole time. At least in prison, I'll survive in prison. It will not be a good time.
Okay, well, in fairness, we're not going to the same prison, so it's probably...
Oh, okay, so you get to say, oh, well, you're not going to a men's prison.
I didn't say that. It's not what I said.
No, you're putting stipulations. Anyway, none of this shit matters. In the Lost universe...
You can survive without food up to 2 to 3 months. You'd need to feed yourself a couple of times while you were there.
No.
You'd lose all kinds of weight. You'd need to find water, right? But if you could find water and some source of food, you could make it for 4 months.
And that sounds really easy. Let me put you on a fucking island and let's see how easy that is.
Okay, so Tom Hanks can survive it, but I can't. Give me a break.
Oh my God!
You want to give up 10 years of your life rather than 4 months?
One, I'm guaranteed to live.
You're not guaranteed to live in prison.
I'm not guaranteed to live. I could die right now.
Have you never seen Oz or like any prison movie ever? Shawshank?
I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
I literally could have a stroke and die right now. I could, live. But, probably not. But if I get dropped off in the wilderness somewhere, my likelihood of death is much higher than in 4 walls with 3 hot meals and a bed.
Some like prison, boss named Ruth is going to come and beat you to death.
And I will pay her in bars of soap and ramen noodles and whatever the hell she needs for me to be alive.
Yeah, well, I think that's insane. I would love to hear in the comment sections whether or not you'd rather do 10 years in prison or 4 years on a tropical island.
Oh, now it's 4 years.
4 months, even better. Nothing. You're not. That doesn't prove. What was that? That doesn't prove anything.
You don't know what you're talking about. That's what it is.
You are literally out of your mind. Do you know that the difference between?
Can we please get through this damn recap?
The difference between a tropical island, right? A tropical island. I want you to think through this, right? Think of all the vegetation on a tropical island. Okay.
I don't know. If you put 3 red berries in front of me right now from 3 different plants, I wouldn't know. 2 are poison, 1's edible. I would die.
I know that Miles is a medium. Are you a psychic? Did you know what was going to be at the end of that sentence when you just interrupted me?
I don't know.
The vegetation. What I'm suggesting is that there's water there.
Great, probably.
Right.
But
so you need
I gotta
water.
find that shit.
You need water. Okay. It's a tropical island. You don't know the berries. Think you could figure out a coconut if you found it?
Yeah, I mean, probably I could get it open eventually. But
right. You pop it open and eat some coconut.
You get a half a cup of coconut milk.
You don't need milk. You eat the coconut. Coconut's a solid.
Gross.
Oh, gross. Gross.
Also, I would die. Okay. I would die because I don't eat fish. So. You
couldn't catch a fish. So you just need to eat, like, berries or something. Or
I would die because I don't know which ones are poisonous and which ones aren't.
Absolutely madness, giving up 10 years of your life when you could just try to survive.
That mystery loaf in the prison, that's not poison.
4 months any day. 4 months. You'd be in your 40s by the time you get out. I'm still 38.
Wow, okay, so my life's over in my 40s because you're almost there.
No, but you're 31.
2.
Not yet. Next week. So
it's almost my birthday.
All right.
Anyway, so Kate is on trial, and they set it up like, oh, we've got a real good case against Kate. She's gonna go to prison, whatever. Come to find out that her mom is the star witness for prosecution, and they're like, oh shit. So Jack shows up, and he's a defendant. He's on the defense, and he's a character witness for Kate. And that man gets up there and says, I'm one of the Oceanic 8, and Kate was like the whole reason I lived because I was like critically injured and everybody died but the 8 of us, and she like got us food and shelter and did all the things. Kate stands up and she's like, nope, like, we're not doing this. It's all a lie. We're done. Jack leaves. She is, I love how when you're supposed to know that a woman is, like, serious and put together, she's got her hair up. Kate's got her hair in this, like, tight, cute little bun. She's dressed. She's wearing a nice silk shirt. And she goes, like, to a room to change back into her jumpsuit. And she goes to put it on, and her mom wheels in her little wheelchair, and she's like, the fuck are you doing here, Mom? And her mom is like, I don't want to prosecute you. And so Kate's like, oh good, well then just like don't do that. And she's like, why are you here? And the mom says, well, when I thought you were dying, everything changed. Or when I thought you were dead, everything changed. They told me I had 6 months to live for like 4 years. And I don't know when I'll go. Whatever. And then this bitch says, Kate, I don't know why you won't talk to me. And it's like the minute I thought it in my head, Kate said out loud, Because last time I talked to you, you opened your eyes and screamed for help and the police. Girl, that's why Kate won't talk to you, you ungrateful bitch. That's why. So then she's like, I want to see my grandson. Son. And back on the island, Kate and Sawyer are getting kind of frisky or whatever. Well, they do get frisky. And then he's like, oh, you're worried about the pregnancy thing? And then she goes like, well, I'm not pregnant. But would it be the worst thing in the world? He says, yeah, it would be the worst thing in the world because we know as viewers that if she were to get pregnant on the island, she would die. Death sentence. But I can't remember who knows that and who doesn't. I don't know if Sawyer knows that. I don't know. But yeah, it would be the worst thing for you to get pregnant on the island, you idiot. But you're going to be all hot, sad girl. Would it be the worst thing ever for me and you to have a baby? You want to have a baby? Shut up. Anyway, she gets off, basically, like, they give her time served. She's about to get prosecuted, and her lawyer is a damn good lawyer, and he goes like, oh, you're going to take this plane crash victim, who's a mother, who saved all 8 of those people, and put her in jail for 10 years after everything she's been through. So then, the thing is, she has to stay put for 10 years, and pretty much that's it. And she's like, I have a son, that's fine. So she takes the plea deal, leaves. Jack is waiting outside instead of a white doctor coat, he's wearing a leather jacket. He's a bad boy now. And she goes like, how'd you know I'd be here? And he says, oh, your lawyer gave me a heads up. So then she's like, why don't you come to the house? We'll have dinner. And he goes, how about we meet up for coffee? And she says, Jack, I know why you don't want to see the baby. And I said, oh, it's because it's Sawyer's baby and there's that whole love triangle thing. Not quite. Because she goes to her very nice house. And I know it's a nice house because they have double door. The front door is 2 doors. If you have 2 doors to get into your house, you're rich.
Because you only need one.
You only need one.
Yeah.
If you've got 2, it's because you can afford it, and it's unnecessary. So she walks into her beautiful 2 front doors, and her obviously maid comes and goes, oh, he missed you so much. Goes upstairs. There's a beautiful little baby laying in the bed. She goes, kneels down. She's crying. She says, hey, buddy. Baby wakes up. He says, hi, Mommy. She picks that baby up and says, I love you, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron. Aaron?
Bum, bum.
So that means that Claire is not one of the 6/8. So we have confirmed alive Kate, Jack, Hurley, Ben, but I don't know if he counts.
He doesn't.
Okay. Kate, Jack, Hurley, Aaron. Does he count?
Saeed.
Does Aaron count?
Of course he does.
What about his mama? God, I think a baby and a full-grown... The mother, they count as one. That's not fair. That sucks. Anyway, so there's 5 of 6/8. And somebody is in that casket, and I don't know who it is.
All right, so
a lot of stuff, man.
To go back for a second, just wanted to point something out. So Miles asks for $3.2 million.
Yeah, 32.
And which is not one of the numbers. Ben.
It's not?
No. Ben asks him, I know, you just think every number is one of the numbers.
Every number, I'm like, oh.
You said, of course I'm like, okay.
If it's a number, it's
However,
important.
it is 23 reversed.
Okay, well, numerology, that's the whole thing about numerology. If you just cut it or divide it in such a way, all the numbers will equal other numbers.
That's why when that movie, The Number 23, came out and everybody acted like it was this like
That blew my mind. That movie, I was like, wow, this is...
23 is a prime number, so of course it's got all kinds of mathematical tie-in.
I thought the number 23 was like genius.
I think that if Jim Carrey's in it, it's probably not a revelation. You know what I mean?
That was a great movie, and that was a good, serious movie.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
It's stupid. But,
no, it's not. It's a great movie.
Anyway, so 3.2 is 23 million, or is 23 reversed. Something that I don't think you mentioned is Ben asks him, why 3.2? Why not just 3 million or 3.3 or 3.4?
Yeah, argues with him about it.
It is awfully specific, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, so just worth noting, something to think about.
Yeah. No, I caught that.
So, wanted to talk a little bit about the situation with Ben and Locke. So, Ben and Locke, same situation as season 2. They are in a situation where Ben...
Power struggle.
There's a power struggle. But it's interesting because in season 1, the central tension is between Jack and Sawyer and then also Jack and Locke.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, which is like Jack is rationality, Locke is faith. Mm-hmm. Right? But kind of beginning in season 2, like he's still got that tension with Jack, but a new tension which has bubbled up since the end of season 2 and now into season 4 is Locke and Ben. So they are at it kind of a lot.
Yeah, because they're both, the island, like the big mystery god, and Ben is an established leader of the church, and then Locke has showed up and is an apostle.
So what is it about Ben, do you think, that works Locke up so much?
He's very smart. And he's not easily swayed.
So I think that I have a theory about this, and it's not exactly borne out in the dialogue, but I've just got a theory. So something that Ben, kind of like Sawyer, is really good at is like observing people, learning about them, using their personality against them. He's very manipulative. He's even more. He already proved that he's more manipulative than Sawyer because he manipulated Sawyer. So he's like very
the rabbit.
Yeah. So Ben is a top-notch manipulator, and he's been paying attention to Locke,
everything, everybody,
and everybody,
and freaking Locke. God, I could manipulate him. That sumbitch is like an open book, every chapter, beginning to end, on one page.
Yeah. So he has been paying attention to Locke. And I just think that he's got Locke's number when it comes to... But he also must know, because Locke arrived on this island, and he was able to immediately convince everybody that he was like this survivalist, and like Ben did all his research, so he knew that Locke was a paraplegic before he got to the island. And so Ben is essentially just not impressed at all by Locke's like badass act that he's doing. And so when Locke tries to look confident, Ben sees immediately through it and starts mocking him. And he takes his little gesture of kindness or whatever and puts the book down. He goes, "I've read it already." Right? Which I took as like a really subtle, because they're in his house, right? So a book from my bookshelf, I've read it already. But I've read it already is like another way to say
I already know.
I know this stuff already.
Right?
Know. So he's like, don't eat it. Right? Yep. Lays it down. But because Locke his thing is faith, right? But Ben's thing is knowledge. So like Jack's thing is rationality, but Ben's thing is knowledge. So Ben knows. All right? He knows what's in the book. He knows what's inside Locke.
He knows who's on the freighter.
He knows who's on the freighter.
He knows who Miles works for.
And he uses that knowledge to exert authority over people.
Because he's vague.
But the thing about Locke being representative of faith is that if you are of faith, the ultimate payoff of faith is to
death and going to heaven.
The payoff of faith is to know. So it's like the reward of faith is to see the thing which you believed in. Meanwhile, like, Locke wants to know, but Ben acts like he knows already. So when Locke is dealing with Ben, it's like an indictment, kind of. Ben's just locked in on him and mocking him because he doesn't know things. And
But
he's like,
also, Locke has clocked Ben multiple times.
a couple of times, but I'd say if you were keeping score, it's not close.
I think that Locke has cracked him enough that Ben is not the formidable person that he was in the beginning.
Not in the beginning, but I would say it's still not even. Because Locke is still whipping stuff against a wall. Literally, like, he did it in season 2, and then he did the exact same thing in season 4.
Rookie shit.
But as a person who knows what happens at the end of this and knows how this dynamic is going to play out, like, I think if you were keeping score, Locke has caught up, but he's not even yet. Locke is so soft-headed in this episode. Like, you can tell that he's losing his grip a little bit.
Yeah.
So he's done it before where he's lost his grip a little bit, and he turns into kind of a dick when he starts, like, losing it a little bit. Like, he's kind of, I found my way, I know where I'm going. As long as that's going, he's fine.
Yeah, and then he's like, whoa, I might be wrong. Fuck you. Oh, yeah, he kicks Kate out. He's like, you're done. Bye.
I love that. So it's weird because it's when when you don't like somebody, but there's somebody else that you dislike more. So when they get together, you're fine with, like, person number 1 putting person number 2 in their place because it's like, ew, right? And so I don't like Kate at all, okay? But when Locke was like, you thought it was a democracy, blah, blah, and then he shut the door in her face and she was like, LOL, right? And she just immediately got to Miles.
Yeah,
like,
she's like, okay, well, fuck you. Like,
it was this fast. He was like, if I were a dictator, I would shoot you.
I said no.
Yeah.
And she's like,
I bet on film it wasn't 2 minutes until she was in Miles' presence.
Yeah.
Like, she's right there.
Yeah.
And also, how stupid is Locke? How little does he actually know about Kate than to know that if you tell her not to do something, she's going to immediately do it, right?
Yeah, it's happening. You have guaranteed whatever it is that you don't want her to do, it's happening.
Why didn't somebody just tell Kate not to get them off the island?
I need you to
Then they're off the island.
I need you to not do whatever it is you want to do.
So he tries to stand up to Kate, doesn't know enough about her to know that, first of all, Kate, despite us not liking her, is intelligent.
She's very smart.
So she must know that Locke's not actually going to shoot her, right? Because he tried to shoot Jack, and he was just like...
and his own daddy, which they don't know about.
Ooh, I can't
do it.
I can't do it. I'm a soft boy. I have to get Sawyer to do it.
I can't shoot my dad.
Right.
So.
And so, well, my dad who pushed me out of a window. It's
made
not
me
like
a paraplegic.
Yeah. So he's got that going on for him. He couldn't find the cabin like he thought he could.
Oh
right?
yeah, Ben says that. He's like, you can't find the cabin. You can't talk to Jacob. You know, you need me more than you've ever needed me. You're more lost than you've ever been.
And it's so hard for Locke because all those things are right.
Yeah.
So it's
100%.
like everything that Ben is saying is correct, right? So Locke is like,
he said, I'm rubber and you're glue.
Yeah, and Ben's
Shut
like,
up.
Yeah, Locke says that, and Ben's like, right, and then just goes like,
stones. So annoying.
It's actually, I've always said Ben's my favorite character, and it's because of stuff like this, because I can't stand Locke at this point in the series.
Shut up, dude.
Shut up, Locke.
Shut up.
So, art within the art, real quick.
I'll tell you what's art within the art. Fuck you, Kate, for making a jumpsuit look hot. Like, shut up. Shut up.
Evangeline Lilly
She's so beautiful.
is attractive.
That is so dumb.
There is no getting around it.
I like how she's supposed to be, like, disheveled. She's been... Because they keep her in jail for the duration of the trial. She's not allowed to go home or any of that. So she walks in at, like, midway through the trial, and she's supposed to be, tired, and she's in jail. Beautiful. Beautiful. In her little fitted jumpsuit.
Evangeline Lilly's pretty now. Like,
yeah, she is. She's aged like freaking George Clooney.
20 years
Beautiful.
later. Yeah, gorgeous. But she's... I thought she did a pretty good job in the Marvel movies. Like, The
Who
Marvel.
was she in Marvel?
The Wasp. She was in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah. Anyway, so art within the art. There's a couple. The most prominent one is a book called Valis by Philip K. Dick, and it's. I've never read it, so I had to.
Valis sounds like phallus, as in phallic, as in dick. So that's interesting. Is that on purpose?
It's an acronym, so I don't think so.
Okay,
but,
well, something to know.
So I had to look it up. It stands for Vast Active Living Intelligence System, and it's so the novel. I just ChatGPT'd it. Just gonna be honest with you, I've never read this book, never heard of it. I know Philip K. Dick, but I've never read Valis. So some themes in Valis: the search for God and truth, madness versus revelation. A central tension is whether Horse Lover Fat, which is apparently one of the characters' names, is experiencing genuine divine visions or suffering from psychosis, i.e. the cabin. Okay? The book wrestles with a thin line between insanity and spiritual enlightenment. Dick uses this ambiguity to suggest that human understanding of reality is always unstable and subjective.
Uh-oh.
Gnosticism and hidden reality.
What is Gnosticism?
The idea that the world is a prison created by an ignorant or malevolent demiurge and that salvation comes through secret knowledge.
So like enlightenment?
No. Gnosticism is like...
but I mean, you get through Gnosticism by enlightenment?
No, Gnosticism, imagine if you were like a Christian but you believed God was kind of evil in a way. Like, that's what Gnosticism is.
Okay.
Anyway. The duality of self, suffering and redemption, systems of control versus liberation, and art and narrative as salvation.
Hello. Okay, so it's like all of fucking Lost.
It's Lost, basically.
Lost.
Like, it's Lost.
That book is Lost.
I actually thought, like, I'm reading the new Dan Brown novel right now, but when I get done, might pick up Valis. I don't know.
Yeah, you should.
We'll see it.
Yeah.
So, other stuff in this episode, art within the art. So, Hurley wants them to pick between some movie called Satan's Doom, which I looked up and couldn't find, and Xanadu, which is a musical.
Yeah.
It's an Olivia Newton-John musical.
Love her. Sandy.
And the themes in Xanadu are the power of imagination and creativity. Xanadu is about taking risks in art, mixing high and low culture, old and new forms. Parody of artistic pretension. Love as a risk worth taking, i.e.
Always.
Kate and Sawyer and Jack. Fate versus free will. Again. It's almost like humans really struggle with this idea of fate versus free will.
Oh my God.
The value of camp and nostalgia and transformation and transcendence.
The value of camp and nostalgia.
Yeah.
Camp is in an art?
Yeah, campy. Yeah.
Yeah, like exaggerated and big and kind of silly. That doesn't make sense. What was the line in Xanadu? Because I heard it when they walked in, when Kate walks into Hurley and Sawyer's house and he gives her the box wine. Xanadu is playing and the song, oh my God, there was a particular line, and I know because it was in the subtitles, because we watch everything with subtitles because
we're old.
Reading comprehension.
So...
Yeah. I can't remember the line though. Like, she's got you, or she's all yours, or something like that. When she walks in.
No, that's the next thing I'm going to talk about. So that's not from Xanadu. That's from a song by Patsy Cline called "She's Got You."
Boy, yeah.
This is the second appearance of Patsy Cline. The other one was "Walking After Midnight," which was also a Kate episode. Fun fact: do you know how Patsy Cline died?
Plane crash. Yep.
So,
her and the La Cucaracha guy, can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Who is it? Richie Valens?
No, Ricky Valens is still alive, I think.
I don't know. The guy that sang La Cucaracha, he also died in a plane crash. And the guy from Leonard Skinner.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think that's why Patsy Cline is in Lost a couple of times, is because...
Also, she's a very talented Southern country singer, so why not have her?
Anyway, so that's it for all that. I wanted to address our art within the art, which we only have one this time because we are trying to build back most of our art, or not art within the art, sorry, messages in a bottle.
I was going to say, what?
So we only have one this time, as the Facebook thing has not been sorted out yet. But Astra Gallison, our YouTube commenter, who literally pretty much gave me the advice of like don't read the whole comment, but did.
Good advice.
I'm just going to make like a summary of the comment, and kind of the main takeaway is that this person thought that I was, or I don't know if it's just me or if we together were unfair about Charlie.
It better not be me, because I am a Charlie stan. I think Charlie... I feel so sad about the way he died. I think that he worked through himself, his own demons. He got to redemption. I love Charlie.
Yeah.
It's you.
I don't love Charlie.
Charlie did bad stuff. Charlie was a bad guy, but he wasn't at the end. I think that if I were to give a fair assessment of Charlie, I don't think Charlie's a bad person. At his core, I don't think he's a bad person. No.
But I do think he does a lot of bad things, and he has very poor judgment. And I'm just going to say it.
Charlie's trauma-informed.
I think he's a little icky with women. Like, I think that how he treated Claire and how he kind of wormed his way in, and he was like
he was opportunistic. You're on a fucking island. You got to be it is opportunistic.
Yeah,
There's only so many people.
However,
he took care of the pregnant girl.
You are on an island, but everybody didn't make all the same decisions. So it's not like just being on an island means that you have to do certain things. So also, as I said in my response to you, I also have a bias against the actor who plays Charlie. So I'll just admit that that's probably part of it. It would be like if Charlie Sheen was somebody on Lost. Like, I just think Charlie Sheen sucks, and I wouldn't root for the character if Charlie Sheen was playing him.
That, or the guy that plays Percy Wetmore.
Morgan can't stand anybody that guy plays because she hates Percy Wetmore.
I hate Percy Wetmore from The Green Mile. Is one of the most abhorrent, evil, awful characters of all film ever.
I think we did a poll one time on Facebook where it was like, who's the most abhorrent characters in film or TV? And if you guys have ever seen Midnight Mass, there's a lady in Midnight Mass, Beth. Awful.
She sucks.
Awful.
Yeah.
And then Nate at the end of season 2 of Ted Lasso.
Yes. He was awful.
Heartrending.
Yes.
Anyway, so let's talk very briefly, if I can find it, about the next episode of Lost.
Just so you know, I would have never, if you said, hey, the next episode is called Eggtown, who do you think that's about? I would have said Locke, because bald, egg.
You are going to...
Or Sun, because she's pregnant. That's...
The next episode, fellow Losties, is The Constant. So everybody who...
Is that a Desmond? Is it going to be a Desmond episode?
It is. And everybody who loves Lost loves The Constant.
Great! I'm excited.
It is a good episode.
Fantastic.
It's an important episode. I believe, and I want to check myself prior to wrecking myself here. I want to make sure that or I will check myself such that I might not wreck myself. I think that The Constant was up for an Emmy, possibly.
An Emmy?
Yeah, so I'll have to...
Did Lost ever, in its run, win an Emmy?
Pretty sure that the guy, Matthew Fox, for Jack, won an Emmy. Pretty sure. Let's see.
I love that. I feel like Lost is making like a current resurgence. here in 2025, the year of our Lord 2025, I feel like people are talking about Lost all over the place. And I don't know why. Maybe it's just because, like, when you decide, like, hey, I love purple Kia Souls. It's like everywhere you look, there's purple Kia Souls. You're like, I'm going to buy one, and you see it everywhere. Now that I'm, like, in this and invested in this show deeply, it's everywhere. All my podcasts that I listen to, I hear the numbers all over the place, even though I don't know what they are, so I'm probably wrong on pretty much all of them.
The Constant it's a very important episode. So I don't want to go into it. I don't want to spoil anything.
Can I tell you why I thought it was a Desmond episode?
Why?
Because Constant reminds me of Constance, which sounds religious, and he was a monk. That's how I got there.
Okay. Awesome.
Am I wrong? That's bad? That's a 4?
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not to do with that. It's not to do with him being a monk. Any other items that we need to discuss before we...
I feel like there's so much that we left out. Like, that whole situation with Sawyer and Kate in Sawyer's bedroom was... He, like, alludes to pregnancy. Just the whole... I just don't know. There was so much in that episode. I was like, oh my God, we have to talk about it. And I don't think that I did.
No. I think the Sawyer Kate thing's played out personally. I was so happy that you skipped over it. I kind of don't want to talk about it, to be honest. Like, it's so played out. It's exhausting. Like, they just did this for this episode to fill some time or whatever. It's just played out. Like, Sawyer...
The fact that Kate has Aaron... Because when Kate walks up the stairs and opens the door and sees the baby in the bed, Joe said, what does he look like? And I said, he's blonde-headed. That's Sawyer's baby. And then she goes to pick him up. He's got the long hair. I was like, oh shit,
also
that's Sawyer's baby.
Looking old too, so.
Yeah, that's a 3-year-old.
Yeah. And
I'm like, oh shit, that's Sawyer's baby. And then she says, Aaron. What? What the fuck is going on? We've stopped doing that. What the fuck is going on this island? I want to know.
Yeah.
And I'm only 2 seasons away from finding out. So.
You are very close. All right. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Then I guess, until next time, we will see you in another life.